Ricky Stenhouse Jr. does not like Kyle Busch. Just an FYI, Jimmy. If they're ever in the same room
That
and
looks like
you're
hey,
there,
that looks like your is that your first fight as a commissioner for boxing right there?
that could be. Well, I don't do celebrity stuff, right? I, but yes, that could be. So here's what happened, Jimmy. Kyle Busch ran in to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. early on in the race, the second lap, actually. And he was ticked off about that, as well he should be. And so he wrecked. He drove over, got dressed, drove over, and waited for Kyle Busch to show up. And I heard some of the comments that Ricky Stenhouse Jr. thinks that Kyle Busch is an overrated, was good at one time in the past, is not good anymore, runs his mouth like he's in his prime, and needs to shut up. And he wanted to shut him up. So he drove over to the pit, parked it in his yellow shorts and gray t-shirt, waited for Busch in the infield and confronted him. And after a brief conversation, and I wonder how brief this conversation was, probably really brief, threw a punch at him, which a melee started, and his dad, Ricky's dad, Ricky Stenhouse Sr., even got a punch from Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Took one right in the kisser from his son. Jimmy, do you think that he was justified to give him a little Tyson Fury-esque?
Yeah, this is road rage professional style. You know, he waited. He drove up to him, right? Got out the car in his banana shorts, walked over and talked smack to him. Yeah, it's on. It's on. I mean, you know, I've seen a lot of fights break out like that many times. And being in the great state of Texas, there's a lot of roads out here. There's a lot of road rage that I've seen, and I've seen that happen. So yeah, yeah. And if dad is standing next to son, he might get a two-piece too in the grill.
uh, Jimmy, I could see this like I want to put this in basketball perspective. Early in the game, you walk down the court, you take a jump shot, and some guy throws his body at you right at your knees and
Yeah.
tries to take you out early in the game, right? And you're out and you miss the game. That's what happened here. He ran into him intentionally early in the race. Like, you don't take somebody out 3 minutes into a basketball game or 2 laps into a race. He took him out. So, Jimmy, I'm pretty sure you'd be waiting at that locker room door for that
Right.
bro to
That's
come
what
off
that's
the
what I
court.
mean. It's
Bang!
on. Yeah, it's on. Like, and especially, I mean, you know, you don't give me a chance, and if I'm not mistaken, that's kind of been like a kind of one of the stigmas that he's had is being a reckless driver and
Yeah.
and have a history or a reputation of knocking people out early. So I think, you know, people get fed up. You know, if you want to put it in basketball terms, it's like, you know, this guy has been fouling excessively hard or taking cheap shots or cheap fouls. So I know that at the beginning of the game, when I go in the game or at the start of the game, I'm going to do something to protect myself. And in doing so, I'm probably going to throw the first punch, not punch, but elbow, knee, you know, scratch something. I'm gonna do something to just to let you know that I'm here, and vice versa. If somebody came at me and I felt like hit me too hard, or you know, didn't foul me in the letter of the game, or you know, or did something intentional, it's on. And anybody who's there to defend them is getting a right cross too.
Well, Jimmy, although I would agree with you that he may be justified to swing at Bush, I think Brent Chapman would have, you know, after sitting there and waiting for hours, would have probably calmed down and said, you know what? This isn't the way to handle this, and probably would have not. So
But
you
that's
can,
but that's why. But see, that's why you're an upstanding citizen, V.
that's
That's
why I'm
why
not
you
a race car driver. Is that what you're trying to say?
you know you got to have a little edge out there. You got to be
Yeah,
gripping that
I
steering
think
wheel tight.
I've gotten to the point in my life that I can calm myself down in pretty much under 5 seconds. So,
That's a
which is
great
pretty
quality.
impressive.
Yes,
This guy had
absolutely. You don't
6
want to fly off the
hours
handle.
and didn't calm himself down.
But that's
Like,
what happens in sports. Sports
yeah,
gives you that extra, kind of
adrenaline.
adrenaline
I
where
get
you
it.
almost sometimes, lose your
Yeah, but not
emotions.
not
You go out
6
of
hours
control.
later, dude. He hates that guy for other reasons unrelated to that, and that's why he waited around to punch him in the